Welcome back to Laila at Home, where I share with you the things that I do at home, from studying, gaming, and cooking. In this video, I'll be answering a few questions from my friends to help you to get to know me better. The first question is, how did you end up in New Zealand? After I finished my bachelor degree in Indonesia, I was looking for scholarship opportunities. The ones that were available back then were to Brunei Darussalam, Australia, and New Zealand. So I applied for all three. I actually didn't know much about New Zealand itself. The only thing I knew back then was that Xena, the Warrior Princess, and Hercules, the TV series, were shot here. And I thought, well, it looks beautiful, the mountains, the greeneries, and I thought, why not? Out of the three applications that I sent, the first one that I heard back from was from New Zealand. So here I am. I arrived in New Zealand on the 3rd of November 1998, so that's a while ago. I came as a student and I just never left because the place resonated so much with me. I loved how small the city is, that you can walk everywhere, that the climate is not so hot. In actual fact, it's probably more on the cooler side. Question is, when did you start cooking? Did someone teach you? And how did you become such a keen and fabulous cook? I probably started cooking when I was in high school. Back then, Mom had a catering business. She's a fabulous cook and she's a fabulous baker as well. The reason why I started cooking myself, though, was because Mom was never home. She was busy with her catering business and nobody was home to cook me a meal when I got back home from school or when I needed to go to school. In the beginning, I suppose I helped myself to some instant noodles, but you can only sustain yourself with instant noodles for so long. And I decided, okay, I'll explore some recipes just because it looked good. And so that's how I became a good cook. When I left home and came to New Zealand, I found that the food here, well, there's a lot to be desired. I decided that to be able to eat the food that I was used to, then I should cook more. I brought an Indonesian cookbook when I came from Indonesia to New Zealand, and I would email Mom to ask her, how do you make such and such? And she'd email me back and I'd give it a try. And that's just how I became used to cooking. A follow-up question to that from my daughter is, what's your favorite food? That's a bit unfair for her to ask me that because she knows that I have so many different favorite food. But if I had to narrow it down to kind of like a certain type, my favorite food would be something that is hot, as in temperaturely hot, and also spicy hot. I'd always go with rice and curry. Given the choice of rice and curry, salad, or sandwich, I'd go with rice and curry. The next question comes from one of my good friends. It has a bit of a story in the beginning. So she says, "You're one of the busiest and most productive people I know. For example, raising a beautiful daughter with whom you have a wonderful relationship, work, study, friends, all kinds of creativity, personal development, and much more. Yet you never seem stressed by time or flustered or rushed. My question is, what are your own top tips for getting stuff done in life? How do you fit it all in with grace?" I actually feel quite honored about this question because I do realize that I try to fit in a lot in my life, but for that to be recognized by my good friend, I feel quite flattered about it. I think for me, the key for getting stuff done is actually knowing what it is you want to do. Recently, I've been taking quite a lot of cohort-based courses, and I would make time to do it. So for some of those courses, it required me to get up at 3:30 in the morning because the course starts at 4 o'clock because it was based in the United States. Another tip for me to get stuff done is to be able to say no to the things that I have no interest in. In his book, Hell Yeah or No, Derek Sivers talks about if the answer isn't hell yeah, then it should be no. So if somebody asks me the question, hey, do you want to go out for dinner tonight? And I'm not really feeling it, then I would say no. It's not that I'd say no all the time. If I am feeling, oh yeah, let's go to the pub tonight and let's have their steak and wine, I'd say yes to that. Being quite specific about the things that I want to do is very useful for me to get a lot of stuff done. I think the reason why I'm not stressed out about things is because I probably try not to take myself too seriously. I have my own ways of relaxing and decompressing. For me, it's playing video games. I play a lot of Minecraft these days, and I also play a lot of Beat Saber on my VR headset. Which leads to the next question from my daughter's friend. He asks, how long have you been playing video games, and what was the first game that you played? So I've been playing video games from mid-80s when PCs were operated from a floppy disk, where you have to boot the PC with one floppy disk and then operate and run the program in another floppy disk. And my first game was called Khazarian Siege. Are you afraid of the Khazarian? It was a pixel game. It was a spaceships shooting kind of game. Very old now if you see it. After that I started playing Tetris. And then me and my brother, both of us are kind of like Star Wars buffs, and so we played a lot of Star Wars games when graphics became a bit better. And then he enjoys racing games, but I kind of decided to go play Tomb Raider. When I finished playing Tomb Raider in about the year 2000, I think I took a break from playing video games. Maybe I did think that playing video games is too childish, or that it's not for serious adult life. Then my daughter was born in 2008, and when she was about 4 or 5 years old, she wanted to play Minecraft. I thought, well, I can't kind of leave her play by herself, because I needed to probably teach her how to play, and we could do this together. So both of us started playing Minecraft, and we've been playing Minecraft ever since. She's now 13 years old. Now we've been playing Minecraft for about 8 to 9 years together. Sometimes I play with her and her friends. Sometimes I just play on my own. I join a server called Hypixel and I play on Skyblock, where I build my own island. I find that that's relaxing for me and it helps me decompress. So I don't take myself too seriously. People think it's crazy when I say I play Minecraft. The final question that I have here is from my best friend, and she asks me, what makes Laila tick? Which is an interesting question, because you can take it in so many different ways. I get excited about creative endeavors. I get excited about trying new things. I suppose what makes me tick is looking after my friends. I like to feel that I'm there for them. And I also like problem solving. I like it when I look at something and kind of think, okay, how can I solve that problem? Or how can I fix something around the house without having to call somebody in? How do I fix a cistern? How do I seal the area around the sink? I like figuring those kind of things out. It gives me a lot of satisfaction to do things with my hand, both kind of like on physical things like making bookshelves, planting. I love gardening, and I also like to do things with my hands on the computer, creating things, writing, and now, for example, making videos. Those are the things that kind of feed my mind. I like being able to express. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions about me, feel free to put it in a comment below and I'll get back to you. Please check out the other videos on my channel. I have videos on cooking. One of my favorite ones is making vegan chocolate mousse with only 2 ingredients. Or you can check out my video about why I love Rome research so much. Or also you can watch a replay of me playing Beat Saber on one of my favorite songs, Country Rounds, and hitting full combo. See you next time. Bye!